welcome back to my channel. I hope you're enjoying my Halloween stuff so far. I'm really excited for this next look. Galaxy looks are one of my all-time favorite things to do because they're super easy. You really don't have to have a lot of talent. I'm not much of an artist myself, but this look is one of my favorites to do just in general. On top of that, I do want to throw a quick little skull between the galaxy bits. I learned almost everything I know about drawing a skull on my face from the YouTuber slash Instagrammer Crispy. Her videos and her looks are some of my all-time favorites. She was one of the first people I watched when I started playing around with special effects makeup. So if you want to kind of learn how to do a little bit more in detail skull looks, I would definitely go check out her channel. I will link it down below in the description. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the look. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace out the shape. I want it to look like, kind of like my face has been scraped open directionally. So I want it to look like the direction is coming this way and keep parts of my face. So I'm gonna start off by using this Mayron white water activated face paint.
So here I am using white face paint to carve out the shape that I want. I prefer to use white just because it's easier to remove or go over if you do make a mistake. If you use darker colors, it's just a little bit more difficult, but it's totally up to you. Just take your time and make sure that you're getting the shape that you're looking for before you move on.
Okay, so now that I have the shape that I want, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch to a black tag face paint, also water activated, and just start filling everything in.
So I use a smaller, more angled brush to fill in the parts around the edges. Later on, you can go ahead and go in with a bigger brush, but for now, just use a smaller one. That way you don't mess up the edges and the shape that you created earlier. And then now you can go in with a bigger brush and just fill in the center parts and get everything nice and dark.
Now we're gonna go ahead and start adding the different colors. So I like to start with either a darker blue or a darker purple for the base of the galaxy and work up to your lighter colors. So to do that, there's a couple things you could do, but I personally like to just go ahead and get a makeup sponge. And I just start plucking off the little bits here. You don't really want to have any straight edges here because it will show up when you start dabbing it on your face.
So here I am dabbing on the blue first. I'm gonna use the different colors to shape the galaxy how I want it. So in certain areas I might use purple with a heavier hand, and other areas I might use blue with a lighter hand, just to get the colors more drastic in certain areas to make the galaxy look a little bit more dramatic and not just the same color everywhere. Feel free to shape it however you want. This is just what I did with mine, but you might have a different feeling.
Small brush, let's go ahead and get the black, and we're gonna start. You could leave it like this if you want to. If you want something just really abstract, go ahead and just start adding the stars. I do, like I said, want to add a skull element to this because I want it to look like, you know, my inside has been exposed.
Okay, y'all, so this is where I made my first mistake. So I had been a while since I had drawn a skull on my face. I do normally trace around my eyebrow, but I think I did make it a little too big, which I did end up fixing later on, as you'll see. But just keep this in mind. I do like to trace kind of in my eye socket and I do have big eyebrows, so I do use that to my advantage. But however your face is shaped, you're gonna wanna shape it around your eye socket and kind of feel around with your hand to see where your bone actually connects and just work with it. Now, drawing the teeth for the skull is probably the hardest part for me. I usually just go for something a little bit simple by drawing the lines up and down and then connecting them with a line straight across for where my teeth meet. But you can go for something a little bit more realistic if you would like. But personally, I don't think this look calls for it, especially with all the galaxy. You don't want it to get a little too muddled in there. Now, For the nose, I'm just going to draw a simple kind of V right in the center to disconnect where the nose is kind of like broken, we could say, and then just draw it straight to the edge of where my nostril meets the bottom of my nose. So here's where I really think I kind of messed up the last time for this look. I added the white into places where I thought I had wanted it, but it looked a little too drastic for the look. Outlining everything with white and not just partial outlines. So I wanted to leave this in so you guys could see me mess up, because while doing your face like this, it's very frustrating. So a lot of times you have to start over. You can actually see my face here. Like, look at my eyes. Like, I was like, that's not cute. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna speed it up for you guys. But I just decided to paint everything over with black again, dab a little bit more of each color so that way I could get the look back that I wanted, and I reshaped my eye so it's a little bit smaller, and we're gonna go over it again with white. Now with the teeth, I decided that I wanted to just outline them to start with so I can get a good idea of what the shape is gonna look like. We're gonna go back in later on and fill them in a bit more, but it's better to do less to start off with and then move up from there than make a mistake and have to go over everything with black and galaxy paint. So here I'm just stopping to outline the eye socket a little bit and the nose. So just take a little bit of white face paint, outline it just on the corners or whatever sides you see fit. But I decided not to outline the whole thing so that way it wasn't too drastic, and just gave it a little bit of a highlight to where the shapes of the holes were. Now with just a little bit of face paint on your brush, we're gonna go ahead and start at the base of the tooth, and with more pressure, we're gonna add some white and then pull off with the pressure while you're moving away from the tooth. So that way it gives it a little bit of depth. And then we're just gonna fill in the rest of our teeth as much as you see fit. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be square, just make it look there. Now I'm just adding in a few details. Here I'm just adding the bones in my neck. I didn't want to make them perfect, just some little square blobs. And I'm adding in stars. These ones I'm placing close together. Some I'm spacing far apart just to get a little bit more of a galaxy look. And then for some of the stars, I'm gonna make them look a little bit brighter, a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna do the traditional star look, just making a cross or an X, and then placing one more X above it, just with a little bit of makeup, not too much. And then we'll place those a couple other places in the galaxy. Now this part isn't 100% necessary if you don't want to do it, but it does help take the shininess away. So I'm going to place some black eyeshadow where the major black parts of the look are, especially around where my eye creases are, so that way it covers any creasing later on, say if you're going to take this out or wear it for longer than a couple hours. And after all that hard work, you should be finished. And here's your finished product. Please give me a
like and subscribe to this channel for more. And I can't wait to see you later. All right. I hope you have a great day. Love you. Bye. Oh my God. I look like I actually have muscles. I really don't, but I look like I do. It's just collarbones. That's it. That's all I got. So I'm not wearing a shirt today because I mess up so many shirts dealing with specifically black face paint that I'm gonna hold off right now and we're just gonna wait.